Hello, everyone. This is my client, Brandon, and we just got done with a Reiki session. Anyways, we got into the conversation of shadow people, and Brandon has experienced one of these shadow beings when he was younger. I feel that by doing this interview with Brandon here would help people out deal with these things. I personally, myself, has dealt with them, and we actually been having an increase of these people, standing on the side of people's beds, doing all kinds of weird things, and I kind of specialize in these things since I've been attacked when I was about 5 years old myself. Brandon, now, what do you feel that this thing... Actually, you know what? Just tell us a little bit of what happened, and explain, what you felt at this particular time. Obviously, you were afraid.
Yeah.
I was. You're only a young kid. You don't know what's going on. I got choked and slammed in my bed. These things can get, it's hard to explain these kind of things to people they don't experience stuff like that. Now, go ahead, Brandon.
Okay. So, it started out as just a normal night. I was sleeping. I woke up and I seen a bunch of green, shadows, around my bed. They looked like people, but I don't think they weren't really people. There was something sitting on top of me, and it was petting me, or petting my blanket when I was sleeping, and it was just freaky because I felt it on top of me, the weight of it. It was just off terrifying, and so I threw the blanket over my head, and I closed my eyes, and the weight from this creature or thing that was on top of me is just gone, and a couple seconds later, I removed the blanket, and nothing was there, just gone. Man, that's it for that one.
You had more?
Yeah, I had more too. I had 2 more after this, or before it, I don't remember. And there's one time I was laying in my bed, and from our hallway was we lived up this old trailer, and you just when somebody would ever walk by in the hallway would just creak, and you could hear somebody walking from the bathroom or whatever, because the bathroom was at one end, my mom and dad's room were at the other end, and my room was by it, kind of. My mom and dad's room was technically on the other side of my room, and I could hear whoever walked by at night, and I was awake, and I was just laying in my bed, and it was about at midnight or 11 or something like that. It was late, and I heard nobody get up through the night, and I was awake at 12 or 11, like I said, and I could hear something creaking towards my room, like something was walking towards my room, but I knew it wasn't my mom and dad, because I haven't heard them get up since, because it would have been a while if they would have gotten up. And I hear something walking towards the room, very slowly. I can hear the hallway creak as something walks by, and I heard it, and it freaked me out, and I got just terrified. It felt like it was just gonna, I don't know. It was terrifying. It was walking towards my room, but then it just stopped. It got really close to my door, and it just stopped. And then that was it for that night, and then, okay.
I mean, that's kind of hard to experience something like that, and I feel that, just explain. I think you kept this stuff inside a long time. That really tell anybody, and that stuff can get.
There's another one too.
Is there?
Yeah.
If you feel like you want to talk about it, you definitely don't have to. But
the third incident.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that one too, because that one was similar to the first incident.
Okay.
So it was a night, like, I think we just moved my room around, and it was late, of course, one night, and my feet were curled up like they always were in my bed, so I decided I would stretch out, and little did I know that was going to be a bad idea. So I stretched out, and as I did, some giant hands came up under my bed and started to
oh my God.
physically pull me under the bed. And I was not even kidding you. They were like coming up, and felt like somebody's real hands. But they were giant hands, and they were pulling my leg. They were on my leg, and they were slowly pulling me down under the bed. I felt like I was gonna fall off the bed.
Have you watched any scary movies with something like that?
Yeah, seen a couple.
Were they similar? Was the attack similar to the movies?
No.
Were you awake?
Yeah, I was awake. I was awake. Yeah, I wasn't like sleeping, like not like tired at all. I wasn't even tired. I think we just went to bed too. We had just went to bed, and it was like an hour after everyone went to bed, and I wasn't sleeping yet. But I was still wide awake. Yeah.
How many people did you tell that story to?
Only a couple. In my entire life.
Me personally, I kept a lot of this stuff to myself because, it's something that people don't talk about, and if it did happen, if it didn't happen to them, you're a crazy person. And, that's sad that a lot of us have to deal with stuff like that, especially when we do deal with something, it's hard to explain, it's hard to deal with. It can cause emotional trauma throughout your whole entire life, Me personally, it took me a lot of self-discipline and getting, I think a lot of it, a lot of my anger and stuff when I was a kid had to do with, I think a lot of these things like to feed on your emotions, like I was saying before, like certain shadow beings. I think there's different kinds that they like to feed on your fear, your problems in your life, your anger, and especially if you do hold down all that stuff. You're just a power plant, feeding the monster off in the dark. That doesn't necessarily mean that these things are really real or not, but I feel that, especially you opening up and sharing with us today about this, I think that has helped you out. I think you deal with a lot of stuff and no one understands you very well. And I'm glad I get to help do the Reiki with you, and because you are gifted, you're a very special kid, and I think sometimes you get frustrated and you don't know how to deal with this stuff. And I think about 75% of all this is the spiritual something spiritual going on with you, you know, and having to deal with all the stuff that you deal with, you know. I think no one understands you. I mean, there's obviously techniques that you can do to eliminate spiritual attacks like this, you know. Simple salt baths, or and I'm not just saying, you know, to go off and take a salt bath and, you know, all your problems are going to go away. It's a step. It's a tool. It's a tool to release yourself from negativity. You know, yes, like, you know, things like, you know, sage. It's a tool to help you relieve yourself from this stuff, and these entities like to hang around people that are having problems or difficulties. And not necessarily, you know, that these shadow things are evil. Like I was saying before, I feel that they are neither evil nor good. Sometimes they're just curious and they keep their distance, but sometimes they do cross that line. And you know, well, what do you do? You know, what do you do if, you know, these things are attacking you? You know, and I say don't jump to the conclusion that there are these things around. You know, I'd actually have people go in, have a sleep study done, see if it is something else, because I do recommend that being done, you know, on top of all this spiritual work. I feel that you see these all the time, Brandon. Is this true?
All the time?
I mean, I think you see spirits a lot that you don't tell people. Is this something true? Is this true?
I don't really, like, see them, but I hear them. I can hear them.
Okay. Now, by any means, I'm no psychologist or anything like that, but I do understand the spiritual aspect of things, and, you know, use common sense that, you know, it could be something of that nature, of a sleeping disorder or whatever. You know, that it's definitely stuff to keep. You know, when you experience this stuff, I mean, it definitely stays with you. It stays with you the rest of your life. And it's how you deal with it now. You know, I feel that's what's important. So, do you have anything new with this happening, Brandon, or no?
Not really. No.
I feel that it was these places that you were at, particularly. I think it was the places that you were living at. I think the grounds, something happened. I think something happened at, you know, at least that trailer one that you were explaining with the hands and stuff.
Yeah, but nobody else could. Nobody else would experience anything. No one else. Except for me there.
You know, sometimes, like I said, they like to target people that are gifted.
Yeah.
You know, and I was saying before, I feel that they know eventually that you will go into some kind of spiritual training. You know, I feel that they pick certain people at a young age to get them. I don't say like on their side or anything. I just really don't know. Like I was saying, like when I was 5 years old, I've been dealing with this personal attack of mine, like trying to understand, like I was attacked in plain, you know, there was light in my room. I wasn't sleeping. Like something reached over and strangled me and slammed me down in my bed. You know, it physically laid its hands on me, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm dealing with 2 other cases right now that are with shadow beings. You know, some people thinking that they're, you know, all nice and fine. You can just, you know, they're unpredictable. I don't know why they would be standing around people's beds, you know, watching them sleep or whatever the heck it may be. But I mean, it definitely is disturbing. I mean, can you describe these things that were standing around your bed?
Yeah, I can. Well, the thing that was sitting on me, I don't really know how to describe that. It was just like the big, bulky figure. It wasn't really.
Muscular?
Yeah, muscular, yeah. It was, pretty, pretty bulky, I mean.
You know,
Yeah.
my thing that attacked me looked muscular too. I could see through it. Mine had red eyes. That's. Oh, go away. What are you doing? He left.
Spoopy.
Anyway, what are your, let's say a kid that's watching this, what would you say to them if they experience something like this?
I don't really know what to say.
It's
I don't
pretty
really think about it.
And I suppose it's something that you want to put off in the back of your head.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't want to think about it, but sometimes it just comes back into my mind. But I don't really want to think about it, so I don't. I just keep it off.
Right? I don't know. My suggestion is find somebody to help you deal with things like that. You know, somebody like myself or somebody that deals with spiritual things. Especially, you know, getting your chakras re-tuned or you know, pulling things off a person and, you know, throwing it away. Anyways, thank you, Brandon, for, you know, explaining what your experience is. I think this will help you out too, you know, talking about it. And if you feel like you want to talk about this stuff, you can, you know, just give me a call and we can talk, you know, anytime you want. Because it is something that you don't want to harbor. You don't want to keep it inside because it will rip you apart. And that's when they start to win. All right. Thank you for your time, Brandon. Thank you, everyone, for watching Brandon's story. Thank you. Bye.